Okay, so we're gonna pray. We're gonna pray for our congregation, for the people who are here, for the people who are not here. Those who have a struggle, with the health situations. We want to pray them, and also for the families, of the week. That is Richard and Merle Grip. Okay, and also for Pepo, Kulu, Friendly, Pa, and Christina Po. Okay, so don't forget, to bring it with you and start praying for them during the week. Yes, want to start praying for all of them and all of us over here. Father, I want to ask you first, to stay with us. Thank you for all the people who could be able to be here. Prepare our hearts, to receive from you. Also, I want to ask for any other people who are here that maybe struggle with the health or health issues. I want you to heal them, that they could feel better. I want you to bless us in this time, and also the people who are kind of follow us on the internet. They also, I pray for them. Those one who couldn't be here for any reason, I ask you for you be with them, you heal them, you stay with them if they're kind of going to visit families or doing some stuff. That you be with them, that you take care of them, and then that we could see each other, some more time, later on. Bless this time, bless the church, and bless us in the name of Jesus. Amen. Amen. Well, I don't know if over here you could see, or now the tree start, getting stuff. So we will see. Okay. Last time that we were together, we talked about the Acts 8. So we're gonna talk this week about Act 9. Okay, and then I put this sermon the name of the three characters. So you will see them, who they are, and then we will see how gonna teach us today. Acts 9 start with Saul, and actually with how Saul received Jesus. Okay, it is a conversion of Saul. So, but the start like this. Okay, you wanna come with me? Acts 9, 1 and 2. It says, meanwhile, Saul was still breathing out murderous threats against the Lord's disciples. He went to the high priest and asked him for letters to the synagogues in Damascus, so that if he found any there who belonged to the way, whether man or woman, he might take them as prisoners to Jerusalem. We were talking that in the beginning, those who were kind of threat is more the disciples, the apostles, the disciples was them. Then later, anyone to accept Jesus in their heart, anyone to accept Jesus as a savior, now is a threat. And Saul started doing his job. It's what he believed that he had to do. So then Saul says, well, I'm going to go to Damascus, and you could see over here, I don't know, you could see that, but this is Jerusalem, okay? And here is Damascus. And he normally, it's 135 miles, 217 kilometers from Jerusalem to Damascus. And they take this road. So the Saul says, okay, if I get anyone, okay, when I go into Damascus, who follow Jesus, give me permission to bring it back, okay, to put in the jail. It's what he's asking for. And one of those journeys is taking around between 5 and 6 days. Okay, this is normally the journey that in that time that they taken, to go to Damascus. And they say, they continue over here. They say, as he neared to Damascus on his journey, suddenly a light from heaven flashed around him. When that happened, they say, okay, what happened over here? Then he fell on the ground, say number 4. He fell on the ground, and he heard a voice to say to him. Saul, Saul, why do you persecute me? And then Saul says, who are you, Lord? Saul asked. I am Jesus whom you are persecuting, he replied. We want to stop over there in the number 5. And then we want to see what happened in Saul's time. He was in the way to Damascus. Many people thinking that it was in a horse. They don't say over here there is a horse, but because they say they fell down, that maybe that happened. It doesn't say it, but could be not. But the main thing here is like as soon as he saw the light, then he fell down, and then he asked, who are you, Lord? Okay? He understands that it's something that, he doesn't do blasphemies or nothing. He says, okay, who are you, Lord? I know that there is a force that I can control, okay? But who are you? Most of the time, we ask questions to God. How many of us, ask questions to God? Many of us, ask questions to God. Things that we don't understand sometimes, things that we want to know. And we want to learn something, through Saul, about this thing. They say that they did a survey, a Gallup survey, okay? And then they put the 5 main questions that the people ask God. Okay, so we have it over here. The first one says, will there ever be lasting world peace? Okay, the first one. Second one is, how can I be a better person? Third one is, what does the future hold for my family and me? The fourth one says, will there ever be a cure for all disease? And the last one says, why is there suffering in the world? So this is the main 5 questions that the people ask God. Okay? But we could see what does Saul says to God. Okay? He didn't say why this happening to me. They said no, who are you, Lord? Who are you, Lord? Something that we need to understand, that sometimes we want to know what we created for, more sometimes than knowing the Lord. Okay, we normally ask to God, what am I gonna do now? What am I gonna do? Show me the way. Tell me what to do. Okay, and it's normal. It's in our way. Is tell me what is the next step. Tell me what to do. Tell me what I want to become. And many times we prefer to have a map than to have the guide. Okay? So here, what Saul can teach us is say, who are you, Lord? I want to know you, or I want to know who you are, instead of why this happened to me, why this light is in that way, you stopped me to doing my job. He doesn't answer any of those questions. He just say, who are you, Lord? Then this is something that we need to learn from Saul. Say, who are you, Lord? And one trying to know who he is. Saul continued with that question over and over. We see in Philippians 3:10, he says, I want to know Christ. Yes, to know the power of his resurrection and participation in the sufferings, becoming like him in his death. So it's not only that only time when he don't know what to do, and then if he fell down and he couldn't see and say who are you, Lord? No. He wants to know the Lord. He wants to continue knowing who he is. When we are more worried to know why he created us, why you create to me, okay, what we need to do here. If we're more worried about what we need to do here in the earth than knowing him, that makes us frustration. That frustrates us. Why? Because God says, no, be with me. I will let you know what is going to happen in your life, but be with me. The more important thing is be with me. Know me. Why? I told you, sometimes we want a map. Could tell you, okay, I want to start here, then later I want to study in this place, then I'm going to go to university, then I'm going to get married, then I'm going to have many kids, then I'm going to do this and this and that. So sometimes we want to have the map to see how life is going to be. But Jesus and the Lord says, no, I don't want to give you a map. I want you to want to know me. Because in the end, knowing him is the eternal life. Eternal life, Jesus says that. Jesus says, eternal life is to know me and to know who he sent me. So everything, Saul, ask that question and say, who are you? Okay? Who are you, Lord? I want to know you, Lord. Okay? And then we need to learn that thing. We need to go through him because he's the guide of our life. He's not the map. He don't want to give you the map because you got the map, then you go by yourself, trying to do it yourself, trying to figure out your life. But say, no, I don't want to give you the map because I know that you're going to get lost. Okay? So I want to, instead of that, I want to give you Jesus, and the relationship through him, you could know what I'm doing. The Holy Spirit that is in you want to guide you step by step. So one of the points that I want to let you know is God show us the next step, not the whole picture. Have you ever drive in a foggy road? When not right now we have GPSs and things like that, but sometimes, I remember those times that we don't have those and we're driving and taking longer, when you don't know the roads, taking longer than should be, or what your mind said. And say, oh, am I in the right direction or not? You have that kind of questions. And then just when you want to do a U-turn, then a sign says, oh, Worthington, 10 miles. So, oh, yeah, we're in the right path. With God, it's the same. He don't show you the whole road. He say, as much as you can see is enough for you. Because if I show you the whole thing, then you want to be scared. I prefer that you go step by step, like driving in a foggy road. You're driving and you know a little bit more, and a little bit more, and a little bit more, and a little bit more. The only thing that you need to do is the next step. Sometimes, I understand. We want to know the whole thing. But God wants you to be dependable on him. If you know the whole thing, sometimes you know about dependable of him. He wants you to be dependable on him. That's why I say, next step. Oh, you finish this one, and sometimes we are saying, God, tell me what to do, and he already told you one step, and you didn't do it. Say, well, I want to wait until you finish, the step. I don't want to give you more steps until you didn't finish the last one that I told you. You know what? Those kind of situations, like God told you something, you didn't do it because you don't like it, or you think. Sometimes we think that we could do better with our life than God. I remember, those times I accepted Jesus in my heart when I was 26. So then I do things that I'm not proud of it before that. So I was thinking that God is gonna make me pay the price, okay? I need to pray. I need to pay all the things, that I did. I wanna marry the person that I not love in. And maybe I didn't marry it, or I wanna suffering for some way. I never had money, or it's always you think that God saw all your life you didn't good, but now you become a Christian, and now I have the power, okay, to make you suffer. And it's not like that. I can tell you that since I become a Christian, all years are better than the last one. All years are better than the last one. It's up and downs in the life, yes. It's up and downs, but always in an ascended way. So sometimes we think that we could do better decision with our life than God. That's why we don't want to ask the second question that Paul didn't ask, okay? Because you will see Paul says, who are you, Lord? Okay, he want to know who he is. And then later he say, okay, I am Jesus who you are persecuting. And this one, Saul doesn't say, okay, what do you want me to do? What happened? He say, now get up and go into the city, and you will be told what you must do. He don't give a chance, to Saul to say, what I want to do. He told you what he do, what he's going to do. And he give you next step. And Saul says, that's okay. It's all I need. So then he going to Damascus. And imagine, if he's going to Damascus, trying to get all the Christians, who follow Jesus, how do you think he's going to enter, into Damascus? It wasn't in a horse, like a triumph. But no, he entered as a blind, helping, because he couldn't do it by himself. So imagine how God is working with him. And now what happened in the other side, with the Ananias. We want to read about it. Acts 9:9-12. For 3 days he was blind and did not eat or drink anything. And Ananias appeared. In Damascus, there was a disciple named Ananias. The Lord called to him in a vision, Ananias. Yes, Lord, he answered. The Lord told him to go to the house of Judas on the straight street and ask for a man from Tarsus named Saul, for he is praying. And in a vision, he has seen a man named Ananias come and place his hand on him to restore his sight. Ananias, that's kind of, didn't talk about him, and he talked about this, and then that's it. Ananias was an ordinary man, okay? It wasn't an apostle, or a prophet, or a pastor, or evangelist, an elder, or a deacon. He's just a normal person. To hear what does God want to say to him, and he obey what he's doing. Of course, not obey really quickly. You have a few questions, to ask. Okay, want to be specific. What happened, in Acts 9:13? He says, Lord, Ananias answered, I have heard many reports about this man and all the harm he has done to your holy people in Jerusalem. Just to let you know, Lord, okay, sorry, it's asking Ananias, just to let you know, maybe you don't know so well, this guy. I want to let you know that, is that right, what you think you want me to do? And he say, just to let you know, I heard about this guy, and he's not a good guy. Okay, just to let you know. And Lord says, he answered back, and then he say, yes, I know that. Okay, but I want him, okay, for sharing the gospel to the Gentiles. He's going to be my instrument to do it. Okay, but it was so specific. God was so specific. Imagine Ananias, going there, okay, and you could see over here. And then they go, Ananias is walking, still thinking is that right? No, it's not. And then they go, arrive to the house of Judas, and then ask, hey, Judas live here? Yes. This street is the straight street? Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, is there a man from Tarsus over here? Oh, yeah. What's his name? Oh, it's Saul. Okay, and what he's doing? And imagine the Judas says, oh, he's eating. Oh, no, it's not here. So I'm going to continue walking. Okay, but he said, no, he's praying. Everything was okay. So he obey. He go and do what does God him to do. And then in 17, Acts 9:17 says, Ananias. Then Ananias went to the house and entered it. Placing his hand on Saul, he said, Brother Saul, the Lord Jesus, who appeared to you on the road as you were coming here, has sent me so that you may see again and be filled with the Holy Spirit. He heard a lot of things about Saul, but because God told him that he accept Saul, then Ananias accept him. Sometimes in our life, God forgive us, but sometimes other people don't forgive us. Okay? Ananias says, if you forgive him, Lord, I will forgive him. I want to say, brother Saul, okay? And he put the hands on him. He couldn't see. So Saul couldn't see the love of God through Ananias, but he felt the love of God in him when he said, brother Saul, and put the hands on him. He was accepted by Ananias just because God accepted him. There's many times when we're coming to the church, and then sometimes we commit mistakes, but God forgive us. But sometimes people at the church don't forgive us yet, and it's hard. It's hard. Many of us being rejected sometimes, for people from the church, and sometimes people who are not here is because they feel like that and they leave. But I want you to let you something. One thing is the word, okay? The word of the Lord, Jesus, God, okay? And the other thing is us, or missionaries, or who sent to us to do our job. Sometimes we don't do a good job, okay? And then we commit mistake. And instead of getting mad with the person, we get mad with whom? With God. And we say, you allow this to happen, then I don't want to come back over here. And the people leave. Maybe you know people who are not here just because of that. It's nothing that God did. It's something that maybe we did. We judge, we do something, and then the people take it personally, and they say, no, I don't want to deal with this. And then I want to go to another church. But just to let you know, there's no any church who is perfect. Because if there's one church that is perfect, as soon as we get in, we make them perfect. So if you have struggles, with people, okay, in the church, I want to say sorry. Many of us, feel that way. I could give you many occasions that I think that the people of the church are going to be more accepting and have more like that. When I used to become a Christian, then I want to serve, so I was doing here and doing there and doing this and doing that, and other people was sitting in the bench, and then when I say I want to do this, I want to do that, and they say, yeah, it's okay. You're in the first love. That's okay. It's gonna pass. This is gonna pass. And then I get mad. I didn't say anything because I want to respect, but inside of me say many things that I shouldn't. Okay. And then I say, you sitting in the bench and I'm trying to help and doing something and you told me what to do? And in the end, it was a little right. The way that he do it, it wasn't the right way. But the thing that he communicated was okay. Because yes, I tried to gain the favor of the Lord doing things. Okay? But he didn't explain me that well. He just made me angry. And if I didn't know the Lord, I will say, I don't want to come to this church anymore. So I want you to understand that sometimes we do that kind of thing. That's why God wants us, to forgive again and again and again, to repent again and again and again. When Ananias, say, brother Saul, it's just accepting him. In that case, was Ananias. We will see what happened with the other ones. Okay, we don't finish yet. Ananias, okay, he do the thing. And then later, Saul is already in Damascus. Now he can see, he ate something, now it's strange. So he started talking about Jesus, okay? And then say, Saul spent several days with the disciples in Damascus. At one, he began to preach in the synagogues that Jesus is the Son of God. All those who heard him were astonished. They ask, isn't he the man who raised havoc in Jerusalem among those who call on this name? And hasn't he come here to take them as prisoners to the chief priest? Saul changed, but now he needs a testimony. Okay? This is what he needs. He didn't need testimony. He said, will you change? Well, I change, yes, but I want to see that okay or not. Okay, so the people say, wait a minute, Saul, he's not the person who's supposed to be going to take him to the jail? And he's here preaching about something's not right over here, okay? This kind of smell like the Trojan horse, that story about that guy. You want to be now with us to check it out, what we're doing, and then, get us, to the jail. Like, yeah, that's what you want to do, okay? And that's okay to think about that way. It's okay. So what happened? He spent time, he started building his testimony, okay? But not everyone, was okay with that. God needs to work, second point, God needs to work on our character before he can use us in his work. Maybe Saul feeling like, wait a minute, I not be able to do what I need to do. I was, going to Damascus, then Jesus appeared to me, so I'm okay. Jesus accepted me. Why do other people don't accept me? Okay, the thing that I need to do, I couldn't do it. Because he needed time. He need to work in his character. When I become a Christian, I remember that I want to talk about God. Talk about with this, talk about with... I was talking to God all the time, but I didn't change myself yet. Okay? I remember one time I was, with my dad, and then say, God and Jesus, and he just said, well, but you didn't make your bed. Like, wait, I'm talking about eternal life, and you're talking about I didn't make my bed? Really? What's relationship of this? Like, what is it? And he was right. You don't see that I changed at all. The only thing is before I talk about something else, and I talking about something else. But I didn't change who I was. I need time. So it's the same thing with Saul. Saul spent 3 years doing what he felt God, wants him to do. 3 years before he wants to go and know the other apostles. 3 years before. Then what happened? When he came to Jerusalem, okay, he tried to join the disciples. What happened? But they were all afraid of him, not believing that he really was a disciple. Okay, I want to leave it over here. At that time, say, okay, I'm in 3 years doing this. Okay, so supposed to be want to be okay. Okay, at this point, they could understand that I'm a Christian. Okay, they might say, I've been serving the Lord for these 3 years. Saul could say that. I'm preaching Jesus. Okay, and also they tried to kill him. The Jewish, they tried to kill him. So it's like even people were trying to kill me, and all this is for what? If you don't accept me, okay. If Saul had this mentality, I've been 3 years serving the Lord, and almost the people kill me for sharing the gospel to others, and you, apostles or disciples, that's supposed to be going to be loving me, you're not loving me? Really? Imagine that Saul had this thinking and say, okay, forget it. I want to continue doing what I'm doing over there. Because when I'm trying to do right things, then it's not enough for you. It's still not enough for you. Okay? But good that Saul didn't think that way. What Saul says, like, okay, well, maybe I need more time. Okay? Maybe I need more time. They need to make sure that I'm doing okay. So what happened? Then Barnabas appeared. But Barnabas took him and brought him to the apostles. He told them how Saul on his journey has seen the Lord, and that the Lord has spoken to him, and how in Damascus he had preached fiercely in the name of Jesus. So Saul stayed with them and moved about freely in Jerusalem, speaking boldly in the name of the Lord. He needs one to believe. So thanks God for those Barnabas. we need those people too. The same way that we need Ananias in our congregation that obey God no matter what. The same way that we need Saul, okay, to understand that he needs to change his character and then preach the gospel. But also the Barnabas. Barnabas is those people who take care of you. Sometimes you come to the church and then I preach or somebody preaching and you didn't get it. Like, it was okay. And then you go back to the house and it was okay. It was nice, but that doesn't feel. The need that I have when I come over here, it doesn't feel that is taking my needs. Sometimes it could be the worship. You worship and then you have the song and then the song talk to you and then you cry and they say like, yes, this is what I need. But sometimes not. You come sing and then nothing happened. It's the same song. You repeated what other people say. But sometimes it's the people next to you or any people who are in the congregation to come to you and say, give you a hug and say, how you been doing? And then you share with them and then he pray for you and the need that you have. It wasn't to the preacher. It wasn't to the music. It was yourself. The people in the congregation, Ananias, Barnabas, to be there. So the question that I have for you is which of those three characters you see in yourself? What is the most common thing that you do or you could do to God can use you? How can God use you? As a Barnabas? He could use you as an Ananias? He could use you as a Saul? How can he use you? It's something that you need to ask yourself because we need it. If you're not doing this work as a Barnabas, who say like, no, he came and say, you don't want to see him, but I bring it over here and I tell you that happened to him is true. And still, they say yes, but they didn't embrace the whole thing. They sent him to Tarsus. And he spent around 8 to 12 years, Saul, to become from Saul than now Paul. 3 years before they met the apostles, and 8 to 12 years later, he started doing God's job. Understand? It doesn't happen in one chapter. It's happened more than that. So Saul become the successful and energetic rabbi. Then was Saul the persecutor, then Saul the blind, then Saul the convert, then the Saul the preacher, and then Saul the apostle until he spent around 15 years, 8 to 12 years to doing God's job. So if you're doing good stuff, if you're doing God's job, okay, I want you to figure out which of those characters you could be and start using it. Start practicing with others. That's it. I want to pray for this. Jesus, I want to ask you, thank you, for this time. I want you to let us know who we are. I want you to show us that we need to be more worried to know you than know who you create us for. I want you to ask that you could show us what is the way, what is the character that we could have. We are Ananias, that sometimes we do understanding, we obey you. Or we are Saul, that we do whatever we need to do in order to share the gospel with others. Or we are Barnabas. Those people are good people to embrace us and accept us the way that you accept us. Bless us in this time. In the name of Jesus. Amen. Now, I want to start with the benediction, so if you could stand up, please, the one who can, and one. Now, to him who is be able to do far more abundantly than all we ask for, or things according to the power of the word with us. To him the glory in the church and in Christ Jesus through all generation, forever and ever. Amen.